So my STEEZ, what's going on? Yes, Lord, bring you round 18 tips, man. We coming down the home stretch, man. We finished all the buys, man. until finals, obviously. So yeah, man, we got 9 games for the rest of the season, for the rest of the home and away season, if you don't mind. So getting down to the nitty gritty, teams fighting for ladder positioning. Looks like a lot of it might be set, but it's still pretty close, man. Very close between, I want to say, 3 and 9. I think between 2 and 9, there's like only 6 premiership points really separating all those teams. So there's a lot of adjustment that can be going on for the rest of the season, man. So it's time to win the games. Winning is more important now than ever. So let's see how teams go, man. Last week I feel like was a pretty easy week to tip, man. And I also will mirror that sentiment this week. It seems like on paper, teams should be playing true to their record, to their win and losses, true to form. So it'll be interesting to see if any of these teams can prove me wrong and prove how wrong I am on tips. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. Round 17 tips, man. First game of the round, we have North versus the Bulldogs. Like I said, pretty easy, clear cut. I don't think North is quite up to it, man. They're quite low on the ladder, if you don't mind. Dogs have been looking exemplary, if you don't mind. Yeah, North 16th on the ladder, at least they ain't 18th or 17th like the previous weeks or previous years, if you don't mind. North coming off of a complete ass whooping by Hawthorne, so they're probably low on confidence. George Wardlaw as well, a player I really like, and I think a player that really gives them a little bit of a not mongrel, no, I wouldn't even say that, but he plays very hard, bro, and effort can be contagious, especially in this sport. He just seems to be one of those players that just can't avoid injuries, and unfortunately, he's come across another one, man. So I think they need all the troops that they can get if they're going to beat the Dogs. And sadly, I think even with a full side, they won't really win that. Dogs coming off a good win against an improving Sydney team, as they've been more healthy. And they have players, bro. They have some players that can really play over there, man. I feel like I say the same players over and over again, but between Frazier, Bont, Bailey Dow, Liberatore, Sam Darcy, there's just so many players over there that can really get the job done. And when they're all hitting and all playing up to their potential, man, they're a tough team to beat, especially since they give it a crack. They play hard, man. So there's no way I'm gonna tip North this week. Easy win for the Bulldogs, I think, at Marvel Stadium. Second game of the round, we have Collingwood versus Carlton, and should be an easy win for Collingwood, man. Carlton is quite trash, bro. Coming off, in my opinion, this might have been the worst loss that they've had all year, bro, against Port. Just completely trash, bro. It was just terrible, bro. 1 goal in the first half, and just did not look like an AFL quality side, unfortunately, when you're coming against a team who's a premiership favorites, in my opinion. And just a team that is pretty consistent with their effort, consistent with their pressure, and just have the skills to really, the skills and the effort and the running power to be able to run you up and down the ground. I don't think Carlton really even has a chance in this game unless they just somehow play above their means due to the rivalry, I guess if you want to call it that. But even when Carlton has been better in the last couple of years, Collingwood seems to get the better of them anyway. So there's no way I'm tipping Carlton this week, man. Go Collingwood at the MCG. Next game was the third game of the round. We have GWS versus West Coast. I do respect the effort that West Coast gave Collingwood, man. Like I said, Collingwood is the best team in the AFL at the moment. I think a lot of people expected West Coast to get their ass whooped just because they're a bunch of young players, a bunch of kids going on. Also, shout out to Dom Sheed. He announced his retirement as well, so happy retirement for him. Wish that for him. Yeah, I think they're just too young a side. I don't think they're that great. GWS coming off a bye, which can potentially hurt them boys, but they haven't lost in close to a month. Some good wins in the last couple wins, I think. So I guess some quality sides. So I don't think GWS will really lose this game. Aaron Cadman has been playing great, man. So yeah, I think I just don't see West Coast really being able to win this game, man. For obvious reasons, GWS should be motivated to try and grab a spot in the 8, as it's the home stretch coming down the pipeline. So I'm expecting GWS to really put the hammer to them boys, put the hammer down on them boys, man. And so I'm tipping GWS, although it is at Optus Stadium. That home ground advantage doesn't really mean much in these most recent years for West Coast. Next game, we have Gold Coast versus Essendon at Marvel Stadium. I'm going to tip Gold Coast this game, man. Essendon just is having a horror run with injuries. They've had a bunch of players out, and also they just recently, I believe I seen a report about setbacks for Darcy Parish and Mason Redmond and Zach Reed. And Zach Reed was supposed to come back this week. Was a test for this week. Mason Redmond, I think, is delayed another week as well. So just a horror run for them boys. They're coming off a bye. But I don't think, obviously, it wasn't enough to get the troops healthy. I still think they'll struggle. This game in particular, Gold Coast beat Melbourne last week. So I think Gold Coast is just a better team. Ben King has been having a great year, absolute great year. Flirting with the Coleman medal, if you don't mind. I think they're just a great side, man. Consider how they've been playing in the year. They had their down patch, but it looked like they got their game back going again. And I think Gold Coast is just to be a bit too much for Essendon. Too many defenders out. Yeah, I just think it's just going to be too tall a task for them boys. Gold Coast is pretty well rounded as a team, strong midfield, been playing good defense, and they have some strong forwards up front, man. So it's not just Ben King himself, Jed Walter, Bailey Humphreys. So you got Ben Long too. So it was just a well-oiled machine when they get going. I think they're well-rounded, and I think it'll just be too much for Essendon to overcome. 8 versus 13 on the ladder. Gold Coast also fighting for ladder positioning as well, so there should be added motivation there for that. And yeah, I think Essendon will just fall down the cracks. Although they've been counted out for a couple games and have put respectful effort, but I just don't think they're the side that people were saying they were earlier in the year. So let's go Gold Coast there. Geelong versus Richmond. Yeah, Geelong is at GMHBA at that. Geelong should really run over these boys, man. Geelong, they have a shot for the premiership, I think. They have a strong midfield as well, bro. And, Jezza can break a game wide open at any point in the season or during a game. Strong defense as well. I think they're a very well-rounded side as well. Home ground advantage just adds to that, going against an inexperienced Richmond side. I just don't think Richmond will really bring it, man. They're coming off of quite the ass whooping against Adelaide. Yeah, they've been getting pumped for the last couple of weeks. So I don't think there's really any reason to assume that they'll beat Geelong. Easy tip here as well. It's a very strong theme here with a bunch of ass whoopings this week, so hopefully it doesn't end up that way. But moving on, we have Brisbane at the Gabba versus Port. Port has been playing pretty good, man, the last couple of weeks. I can't lie. Well, against Sydney, not so much, but they've been playing much better footy than what they've been playing earlier in the season. I do think Brisbane may be a bit too much for them boys, though. Brisbane just been pretty consistent as a team so far, too. Logan Morris has stepped up. We've been wondering which forward will really be able to, fill in that void that Joe Danaher left behind this season. And Logan Morris has had a pair of 5-goal games back-to-back before the bye. So, yeah, man, I think Brisbane should come away with this game, although I do think this could potentially... Maybe I give Port a little bit too much grace, but I do think Port could be somewhat competitive this game. But, yeah, I think the safer tip is Brisbane this game. This probably maybe the best game of the round if Port lives up to. If Port can actually match the intensity that Brisbane has. But, yeah, I still think I'll tip Brisbane this game. Next game, we have St Kilda versus Hawthorn. Like I said, Hawthorn really whooped the shit out of North this past week. And yeah, I don't know, man. Saints actually, my bad, cat trying to mess with the tripod. But Saints really didn't. They're coming off a loss to Freo. I don't think they played particularly bad. Uh, I think at 3/4 time, well, they had a lead. They had a 2-goal lead, and I think they overcame a 2-goal lead to take the lead at 3/4 time and ended up losing. I may have that backwards, but I do think they had a strong effort. I think they played pretty well. I don't think there's, like I said, I keep on saying this every week, I don't think they're too bad a side. But at the end of the day, you're going against a team that's just been a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more potent. As far as Hawks go, I want to say that they have a handful of forwards to choose as far as selection goes. So I think they're having good problems to have when it comes to team selection. They're a very, very dangerous team. Saints have had moments where they're just not quite up to it. So it just depends on what type of Saints team that we get. I think it just depends on what type of Saints team, which Saints team is going to show up. I do think Hawthorne are still the favorites to win this. Hawthorne has a chance to drop any game if they revert back to their weak tackling, their weak defense that they've had for about a month stretch, maybe a little bit less than that. But I do think they're still the favorites nonetheless. So I think the safer tip here is tipping the Hawks at Marvel Stadium. This could potentially be a good game as well, but it can also be an ass whooping. Parity's pretty big with this one, so we shall see what we're in store for. Fremantle versus Sydney. Oh man, I may tip Sydney this game, bro. It's at the SCG, so being at home helps for them boys. But yeah, Errol Golden coming back, he's been tremendous. I do think that maybe this week isn't such a bad week that I've been saying, because this could be a good one too. Murphy Reed has been pretty good, man. He's one of the better rookies. He might not have like the crazy numbers, but he makes an impact whenever he touches the footy as well. Shea Bolton obviously has been having a tremendous season this season, his first year in Frio. We know the potential between the midfield. They have some strong players in there, Brayshaw and Sarong, and Luke Jackson obviously can play the ruck/mid role, and he's dangerous in both of them. So the versatility with him poses a problem as well. But yeah, we'll see, man. I think Sydney still has the answer for the forward issues. So it really just depends on how well that connection is between midfield and forward. And yeah, man, this could be a good game, man. I think I'm gonna be safer, like I said, tip Sydney, but I'm not sleep on Freo. They haven't been too bad. They beat St. Kilda last week, beat Essendon. So they beat up on some weaker teams, but North. So like 3 weeks in a row, they've been beating up on sorry teams. But will be a little bit more of a test for them boys. I think Sydney currently going is better than those teams. And we'll see. We'll just see if Freo can prove that, if they can hold on to their spot in 8, man. Because, any loss, like I said, it's tight, man. One loss can drop you out to 8, man, from the 6th position. So we'll see. Tipping Sydney here to make themselves more competitive. And the last game of the round, we have Adelaide versus Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval. I'm going to go Adelaide, man. I think this could potentially be a game, but Melbourne is just up in the air, bro. Melbourne isn't very accurate in front of goal. Week in, week out, they just show that they can't really, their efficiency inside 50 is not very good, man. They have a lot of wasteful opportunities. And if Adelaide is scoring, bro, and they're making the most of their opportunities, this could be a very dirty game in favor of Adelaide. But, if Melbourne is able to be a little bit accurate in front of goal, it could be a contest. But just seeing how they've been playing and the trend that they have over most of the year, I'm not really willing to back that. So I think I'm gonna go Adelaide. Like I said about them too, they're dangerous. They're a dangerous attacking side, man. And I don't think Melbourne will quite be up to it, man. So Adelaide, I'm not sure about how much, but also being at home helps the case too. So that's what I'm gonna go with. Let me know what you think about my tips, man. If you agree, disagree, if there's points that you think I missed. Yeah, man, I'm not the greatest at tipping, but I do think this week is pretty clear cut with a couple of toss-ups. But at the end of the day, who really knows with this footy stuff, man? That's round 17, man. Like I said, Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. Be ready for round 17, game 1, in just a few hours, man. Yes, Lord.